Okay, Tony, you're all set.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just looking for that link, but I'll wing it here.
That's Serena.
Just give me 1 second, please. Alrighty, so we're all here again. So, hello, I'm set. And you said, Elisa, thank you for joining the City of Kingston Common Council at our monthly Public Safety and General Government Committee. And today is January the 27th and 21. I am Alderman Tony Davis of Ward 6. Before we begin, we would like to go over a few guidelines to help us navigate the system as efficiently and respectfully as possible. 1, we ask that the members of the public and press remain muted and off camera for the length of the meeting. The moderator for tonight is City Clerk Elisa Tinty, and she reserves the right to mute anyone who unmutes himself. Council members and city staff will control their own mute button. Good practice would be to mute yourself if you are not speaking to avoid background noise and feedback. If a council member or staff wishes to speak, they will raise their hands. I will call on members by stating their name clearly for our audio listeners. All of our meetings are recorded. Both video and written transcripts will be made available to the public on the city's website. Although we will not have public speaking today, you can sign up to speak at our monthly council meeting. Please email Elisa Tinty to sign up by noon the day of the meeting, or you can submit written comments for the record by the same deadline. The email is emtinty@kingston-ny.gov. Again, that is emtinty@kingston-ny.gov. You can also drop comments off at the drop box located outside the side door of the City Hall. We also encourage you to reach out to committee chairs or your ward's representative at any time. Clerk Elisa Tinty is the moderator for today's meeting. She has a right to lock and pause the meeting to eject anyone who has behaved inappropriately. Lastly, at tonight's meeting, we have attendance Chair Tony Davis, and Jeffrey Ventura Morel, Ward 1, and Doug Coop, Ward 2, Rainey Scott Childress, Ward 3, and Michelle Hurst, Ward 9. And city staff, we have Elisa Tinty, City Clerk, Dan Baker, City Assessor, John Schulteis, City Engineer, Dan Garstein, City Council, and also non-voting members. We have attendance is, and then he's gone. And we have Climate Smart Commission member Serena Pepper. So welcome. And thank you for your patience during this difficult times. And on behalf of the Common Council, I wish you and your family good health. I now call this meeting to order at 6:41 p.m. All righty. So the first thing on our agenda will be Serena Peppers with the Climate Smart Commission report. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me tonight. I'm going to keep it real quick for you because most of the stuff that we've got going on right now for Climate Smart Kingston is related to the Climate Action Plan 2030. So we're updating our Climate Action Plan, which we had put out in 2010 with goals to reach by this past year, 2020. We didn't quite make the mark for updating it in 2020. Obviously, there were some impediments to getting anything done last year. But we're happy to announce that we're going right ahead with our Climate Action Plan 2030 with goals to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, keeping in line with New York State goals, and to continue with activities that reinforce our Climate Smart certification through the Department of Environmental Conservation. We're working with the Cadmus Group, a consulting firm, to get that underway, and there will be opportunities for the public to participate in that. We're still working on narrowing down the priorities for the Climate Action Plan just real quick to report for the meeting that we just had. Sorry, I think that's someone else. Most of our sustainability projects in the city of Kingston are kind of on pause right now or in design phase because it's winter. They are going ahead with the Repair Cafe. I'm not sure if you all know, but we lost a member of our community, John Wackman. He was a board member for Climate Smart Kingston and the pioneer of the Repair Cafe movement here in the area and involved in so many other things. I couldn't begin to list them, but they are carrying on in his name and in his memory to continue the Repair Cafe. I think Sustainable Hudson Valley is working with them, if I'm not mistaken, to hire, I think they said something of a coordinator, someone to continue keeping people in touch with repairing their things and returning them to use instead of returning them to a landfill when they're no longer working. So just wanted to remind you guys to keep your eyes open for Repair Cafe events coming up in 2021. That certainly is alive and well. Some of the things that we've been working on for the outreach program for Climate Smart Kingston is putting stickers on pizza boxes to interrupt this flow of pizza boxes into the recycling, because I'm not sure if everybody knows, but pizza boxes are actually one of the top 3 contaminants of our cardboard and paper recycling in the city of Kingston. So we have set aside some money, printed some stickers, and we will be distributing these stickers to the local pizzerias to signify to people in a very public way and visible way on their pizza box that it shouldn't go into the recycling, it should go into the trash. And we're going to try to have some fun social media campaign events around that to have a hashtag and try to get people kind of on board and try to reduce the number of loads that we lose to contamination when it's time to actually sort it out. That's a considerable expense. I'm not sure if you're aware, but we lose a lot of our recycling to contamination from a couple of different things, but one of the top things is dirty pizza boxes. So that's our big public outreach campaign that we're doing right now. So you can look forward to seeing those when you order pizzas coming up here in the near future. You're going to see the stickers coming from us to remind you to get those into the trash and not into the recycling. So one of the other things that we are doing is working with the county on getting some visibility for what they're working on, and they have a sustainability position that they are getting up and running. So they're going to be working on a Green New Deal for the county, and I think that we're probably going to be working with them on that. And New Yorkers for Green Power are going to be working with them on that, and they're going to be clearly committed moving forward to cultivating green jobs in Ulster County. So I think that's something to be excited and look forward to. There's going to be a land use planning webinar for the zoning update. Not sure if anybody's interested in participating in that, but you can probably find that online, linked into the zoning board, and that will be, or sorry, I don't know if I said tomorrow. That's February 8th, not tomorrow. So that will be a webinar about form-based code, and that is working with the Strong Towns. I guess that's an organization or some kind of an entity. And you can get more information on that from anybody you know in zoning. I think that they're promoting community solar at the county level. There's nothing really going on with that in the city of Kingston currently. We have been given some more information about the New York Energy Stretch Code, which I think I've mentioned before at this committee. They're actually offering $50,000 and $60,000 action grants from the Department of Environmental Conservation to enact early adoption of the New York Energy Stretch Code. It's something that's going to be implemented in a few years, but it's an enhancement to the current code, basically looking at the building envelope and some electrical lighting components, and I forget what the third, probably heating and cooling, if I'm not mistaken. So they're just some enhancements to the current code that are a little more rigorous that will be enacted in the future, but there's an incentive for municipalities to enact that as early as possible to see savings on energy costs and I think it's basically to kind of green the energy code moving forward. So it's a lot of that applies to new construction. I'm not sure how successful that is when applied to retrofits, which I think that's a big issue here in Kingston. There's a lot of the existing housing is not as close to being green as we would like it to be. So I'll just leave that there. And we did also vote to consent to appoint the Kingston Planning Board as the lead agency for an amendment to the site plan approval for the Hutton Brickyards project down on the North Street part of the parcel there. There's a little piece of it that's kind of overflowing into North Street. It used to be, I think, Smorgasburg, and now they're turning it into a glamp site, not to be confused with a campsite. So if you're interested in any more information on that, the Conservation Advisory Council is submitting some comments to the Common Council about what they're doing there on that piece of property, how they're developing it, and some potential concerns about I believe, limited to a road that they're putting in and some potential erosion based on the slope of the slope of the land there as it leads down to the river. So that is something that we voted on to make sure that although we're an interested agency, the planning board is the lead agency. We are not trying to get any more involved in the process than that. So aside from keeping basically our same goals for the climate action plan for 2030 moving forward, that was the part of the meeting that I was able to attend before we cut loose so that I could come and make my report here. So if there's anything else that I feel I need to report to you, I will do it at the next month's meeting. And thank you for your time and listening.
Any questions? And Rennie Scott Childress?
Not a question. I'd just like to reiterate Serena's point about the Strong Towns event. That's Monday, February 8th. And Strong Towns, as she suggested, is it's one of the preeminent sites for thinking about how best to develop cities in equitable and environmentally sustainable ways. The guy, Chuck Marin, who started the organization, has led in really rethinking lots of the ways that cities go about doing a lot of their traditional work. So everything from how streets are laid out, how to larger issues relating to racial equity. So I strongly recommend everybody sign up for it, and the price is right because it's free. So that's and you can find that on Facebook. So Strong Towns, it's February 8th, Monday, February 8th at 6:00.
Right. Anybody else?
Yeah, Serena, just great report. Very, 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 very complete. Thank you very much.
Alrighty. And Doug, you can't get your video working? Your camera?
Sorry?
The camera doesn't work?
Yeah, it works.
Alrighty, because I can't see your hand or anything like that if you're asking to speak or anything like that. So, alrighty. Thank you again, Serena, and we'll look forward to you next month. next item on the agenda, and I'm going to get this out of the way, and I'm going to have to excuse myself. So, I'm just looking for someone to take the realms as the chair of the public safety in general and government for the next item on the agenda. If someone can take over as the chair, and since I'm going to have to excuse myself. Rennie Scott Childress, you will take over the chair, and I will step away. And I guess I need to talk to you. And Rennie, it's going to be the Board of Assessors.
Mm-hmm. So this is Dan Baker talking to us about getting somebody to serve.
Dan Baker's here, but I have to excuse myself, or recuse myself, I should say, and because it has to involve my wife, Virginia Davis. So, I'll be muted.
Welcome, Dan Baker. We understand you want to discuss with us having some folks on the Board of Assessment Review. So can you tell us what's happening?
Yes. So this appointment to the Board of Assessment Review is a Common Council appointment. Last year, the board appointed 2 members. One new member, Philip Bender-Timon, who was appointed to a 5-year term, and then Virginia Davis was appointed to fill the last year of a previous 5-year term. So her membership has expired. It expired on 9/30 of 2020, and we need to refill that position. Last year, the Board of Assessment Review did a very good job dealing with the pandemic, and we did our meeting online, which was obviously new territory for many, and especially for us, since it's a judicial forum. And I am looking to see if we can fill that position with a term ending 9/30/25. And I've reached out to Virginia, who was one of the members last year, as I previously said, and she has agreed to put her hat in the ring to have another appointment, to have a 5-year appointment with a term ending 9/30 of 2025. I sent the committee, each committee member, just maybe about 15 minutes ago, a committee report. That just it's a simple description. Appoint Virginia Davis to the Board of Assessment Review, term ending 9/30 of 2025.
All right, I'm just calling that up. Jeffrey Ventura Morel.
Oh, no, I was just going to ask, so you're looking for a motion?
Well, I was going to look, I just want to make sure I've got the committee report in front of me first.
All right.
If you need me to resend it, let me know. I think I hit this button.
No, it's there. It's just I'm waiting for it to download.
Okay.
It's taking its sweet time. While we're waiting for that, can we have, does anybody want to move to accept this? Jeffrey Ventura Morel, you are moving to accept this recommendation. Do we have a second? Michelle Hirsch is our second. All right. Any discussion here? Okay.
Hi, Alderwoman Hirsch. So I had voted no last year, so I just will be a no vote because I feel that just if Tony has to recuse himself because it's a family member, I'm just not comfortable voting yes, so I'll be a no.
All right. Any other discussion?
I can read the report if you need me to, Rennie.
I've got it. Finally came up here. The report reads, appoint Virginia Davis to the Board of Assessment Review with a term ending 9/30/2025. All right. So if there's no other discussion then, without objection, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of appointing Virginia Davis, thumbs up, please, or signify by saying aye. It's Jeffrey Ventura Morel, Rennie Scott Childress in favor. All those opposed, thumbs down or signify by saying no. Michelle Hirsch is a no. Doug, which way are you going? Doug Coop? Doug, are you there? Well, I'm not sure what happened to Doug, so we'll have to get his vote when we find him again. All right. So at this point, it stands 2-1 in favor, and it will now go to the full Common Council with that recommendation. All right. Dan Baker, anything else?
That's it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for all the work you do for us. We really appreciate it, Dan.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, thank you.
All right. I will yield the chair back to Alderman Davis.
All righty. So we didn't get a vote from Doug.
Right. I couldn't roust him.
Doug, are you there now? All righty. And so I was hoping that we would have received, if everybody might have received a communication in regard to from just recently in the last minute or so from to go into attorney-client session, but it doesn't seem like we received that at this time, so we might have to wait off. It was supposed to have come from the council president, and so has anybody received that communication with the?
I'm texting it to you right now.
All righty. So we're going to wait for that. So then we can go into, here comes Doug now. Doug, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I mean, they were looking for you for a vote before. So
I got lost when I tried to get Dan Baker's somehow navigating. You lost me, but I'm in favor of that vote for Virginia.
Great.
Thank you. Alrighty. So, and we all should have received that communication from Elisa and city clerk at this time. And so I would like to go into attorney-client session. And I guess I have to ask for a motion to go into that.
What's the purpose?
I think he needs this.
When we go into attorney-client session, we're not supposed to state on the record what the purpose is.
That's what I didn't think. So there was, yeah. So we got a motion to go into it from Jeffrey. A second. Rennie Scott Childress. And anybody opposed to it? I guess we have to ask. All righty. So everybody. So that being said, no objection. Everybody should have received the phone number and the access code. So
if we can just clarify, excuse me, Tony, if we can just clarify, we need John Schulteis to join us as well. So,
okay.
Lisa, did you send John the number?
I did not, but I'm going to forward it right now.
Thank you.
So we were also going to be inviting the city engineer, John Schulteis, into this attorney-client session. Anybody opposed to that? So what we all need to do, client-attorney privileges, we need to put on or mute our phones, turn off our cameras, and then contact that number. So again, mute your phones, turn off your cameras, and then call that number that was provided with the access code.
Where is that number?
She should have, and Doug, Andrew.
Doug, I texted it and I emailed it.
She texted and emailed it to you, Doug.
Okay.
Again, everybody turn off their mics and turn off their cameras.
Tony, John Schulteis was raising his hand. I believe he had a question.
John? He probably was looking for that number, but I think Elisa probably just sent it to him.
Okay.
Yes, I have it now. I'll be right there.
Alrighty, again, turn off your mics, turn off your camera.
Hello?
Doug, you must turn off your mic.
Hello. No, they're in executive session and everybody's muted. I don't know how to do a breakout with my usually. Okay, but they will be fast. Your chicken is in the microwave, and then you can put that stuff on top of this. And then there's that right there, that will last forever. Everything's good. Everybody's good.
All right. So, Tony, we've got two more issues, right?
Yes.
Any idea if they're going to be long?
Not hopefully not. I mean, we got Orchard Street is basically what's the old business on. We don't have anything else new, and that I've seen on the agenda. Old business is Orchard Street and stop signs. So
Okay.
That is that. So so the old business is Orchard Street, and I know I've had a conversation with City Engineer John Schulteis, as well as Alderwoman Michelle Hurst, whose ward the Orchard Street is in regard to this. So I'm not sure, and I'll open it up to either John or Michelle who want to speak in regard to this. Alderwoman Hirsch.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Davis. So I had sent in communications back in November and December regarding speeding and issues on Orchard Street from multiple constituents, and Engineer John Schulteis ordered actually this goes all the way back to November, a speed study. And so he's here to speak about the results of that. And we had also then, Chairman Davis, you had requested a stop sign or be placed at Wells and Orchard.
Well,
and the possibility of turning that street one way.
I didn't want to step on your toes or something. Somebody reached out to me, but then I thought that person had reached out to you, so that that since it's your ward, I didn't want to supersede or step over you or in that matter. So I know there was some discussion about a stop sign. I'm not sure if that constituent is.
They never reached out to me, but I did mention it to
all right. Okay. So, City Engineer John or City Engineer Schulteis.
Thank you, Chairman. Just to recap a little bit of what I looked at in November. The police department put out their speed sign on Orchard Street, and this sign collects the speed data and counts the number of cars that go past it. The sign, I think, was in place for about 10 days, more or less. And we received the data and find that the 92 or 93% of vehicles are traveling at or below the speed limit at that location. So that means about 7% are over the speed limit. It's the other thing, of course, we notice it's a very low volume street. So it's a judgment call to say what you want to do to how much resources do you want to expend to potentially reduce the speeding by what is a small number of vehicles. So, we could look at installing something like a speed table speed hump on Orchard Street. However, in my opinion, this ultimately matter for the Common Council, but the cost is relatively high. Those are about $25,000 each. And the benefit is fairly small in that instead of 93% of people obeying the speed limit, it might increase that to 95 or 98%. And for the rest of people, it's, it might produce a 5 mile per hour reduction in speed, something like that. So those are the findings. We're not aware of a crash, a heavy crash history on Orchard Street or any of the intersections either that would indicate a problem. So it's just a city street that does have a fair bit of length and a straight section. And whenever you have that combination of speeds do get up there, but with 93% or so obeying the speed limit, I would not classify it as a severe speeding problem.
Okay. Thank you, John. I actually haven't received any more complaints, so I will just bring this back to the people that had complained. And
I know someone had reached out to me from that ward about I remember no stop sign at that side street, John, and I forgot what is Orchard and
Wells.
What is it?
Wells.
And I know someone who lives on Orchard Street said that there was no stop sign at the bottom of Orchard and Wells. But then I know from last month or 2 months ago that it was going to be looked into to see if that would be better to have that road a one-way intersection.
Okay. Yeah. At this time, I don't, unless there's a specific reason, I don't see that would be helpful. I do have a list of locations in the city without legislated stop signs. If that item comes up later tonight, I'll speak about it. This location, Wells at Orchard, is probably on that list as a location that should have a stop sign legislated and installed.
And I know we had discussion about that, not adding any stop signs. And again, I'm not going to. This is in Alderwoman Hirsch's ward, so I'm not going to. Either way, that would be something. Alderwoman Hirsch, if you want to bring up again in regard to putting a stop sign there, John, I couldn't. I went back to try to find that report, and I cannot find that for the life of me. And I believe you sent it last month. Did you not? The inventory that you had of the stop signs, or am I thinking something else?
Well, I did. I don't believe I ever transmitted that to this committee because I may have just described it verbally, but it's in a draft form still. I have not visited all of the locations that are on that list, and I would like the chance to do that as well as discuss it with the superintendent of DPW before I send you a list. Okay,
and at this time, I'm trying to figure out as a chair where to go with this, and Alderwoman Hirsch, on this leaving to Orchard Street, and are we tabling it? Continue to table it. Only thing if
I would say just to table it. A request to table it, just because I just want to go back to my constituents, and then also there's an issue of finances that John's talking about. That it would, sounds pretty.
I just want to let you know that if it's tabled for 3 months in a row, from what I've gathered, then it just gets removed. So this will be the second month that it's being tabled. And Rennie's got Childress.
Well, we haven't. I don't believe there's been a motion. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't table.
I thought we don't motion for tabling.
Yeah, I thought we did.
So if it's just an issue that we're discussing, that we can just come back to it. I think it's not a problem.
Alrighty, so we're just going to continue to table that, and then the stop sign inventory. I guess, and John and City Engineer Schulteis, you're saying that just continue to table this until you can get more information. or do you want us? We can remove it. Bring it back?
Let me know if this. I'm going to describe what I think should happen. Is I would in the next month I will meet with the superintendent and visit each of these locations, and then I would transmit to you a communication with the list and a request to legislate stop signs at those locations that are missing them.
Okay.
And but until I make that communication, it's you don't have a specific proposal to act on.
No. So and if somebody, again, I believe that would just remain tabled into further. And they were tabled last month, so it seems like we were going to just let them stay there. And again, it's no legislation has to be dealt with it because they're still just being tabled. So we'll look for that information from you then. And I believe, is there any more discussion on either one of these two matters? Either of these matters? Not seeing any other. Thank you, John Schulteis. Not seeing anything else on the agenda. Does anybody have anything else they want to speak about? All righty. Do I have a motion then to adjourn? Motion by Granny Scott Childress. Second, Michelle Hurst. All in favor? All in favor, no denial. So it's 7:24. The meeting is adjourned into the next scheduling and Public Safety Committee. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Tony.
Good night, everyone.
Night all.
All right, good night. Oh, Michelle, I'll give you a call.